I've been a Guilty Gear fan for about 6 years, but really have only looked into X, Iska, Accent Core, XRD, and Strive. I never actually went out of my way to dive into the more obscure titles in the series, but recently I was informed of this game's existence. In my video predicting Season 4 characters, there was a small crowd that kept saying, "Fanny for Season 4!" Truthfully, I actually had no idea what the hell they were talking about, so I immediately searched into it so I could sound smart in my replies. This is what I discovered: Guilty Gear Petit. This is Guilty Gear Petit, a Japan-only game that was released exclusively on the Wonder Swan color during the ancient year of 2001. It took the current cast of Guilty Gear at the time, from Guilty Gear X, and made them into little chibi cute versions of themselves. ArcSys aimed to capture the essence of Guilty Gear up to this point on a handheld platform that truthfully had limited capabilities. But that's only the surface level. How about we dive further into Guilty Gear Petit?
Cursed monster!
Before we talk about anything, we might as well just tackle the OST first. Specifically, Strive fans love saying it's a $60 album that has a game attached, and honestly, if Naoki and Aisha keeps dropping bangers, I can't really blame them. So now let's take a listen to part of the character select theme real quick. That's that buttery goodness. Now I don't know about you, but that 8-bit chiptune had me grooving and smoothing. Now, even though the Wonder Swan color was relatively weak, Arc System Works found ways to innovate and cook on this little thing. However, this did lead me to wonder, why the Wonder Swan color? Why portable? Why petite? Welcome to Chapter 2. I did a good amount of research for this section because I want to find out exactly why ArcSys went with the Wonder Swan. I ended up finding a couple reasons for why ArcSys chose the Wonder Swan. 1. Expanding Guilty Gear as a franchise. With the release of a Guilty Gear game on a handheld, they could tackle a whole new audience of gamers, extending the reach of Guilty Gear and making more Guilty Gear fans overall. It's an honest hustle. 2. It kept Guilty Gear relevant. Guilty Gear Petit perfectly worked as a game that's goal was to keep Guilty Gear relevant. The fighting game market leaving the 90s had become incredibly oversaturated, which honestly could have a video all to itself, by Capcom. It's funny to me that the only real competition Capcom was having during this time was with themselves. Petit was a perfect game for ArcSys to create, taking less resources while they worked on their next step for Guilty Gear. A challenge. Finally, it gave Arc System Works a challenge during this time. Developing a game for a platform like the Wonder Swan color presented a technical challenge for Arc System Works. It allowed them to experiment with adapting the complex gameplay mechanics and distinctive visual style of Guilty Gear onto hardware with more limited capabilities. Those capabilities being real limited. Have you seen a Wonder Swan color? This boy is real small. This would showcase the technical expertise and flexibility as developers. You could probably imagine the developer street cred that Arc System Works would get if they managed to cook an insane Guilty Gear game on the Wonder Swan. The question is, did they cook with the gameplay? Surprisingly, this game is actually very accurate in keeping the spirit of Guilty Gear alive. Its gameplay is genuinely just like Guilty Gear X, but on a more simplified control layout and everyone's chibi. The funny thing is though, there are crazy combos, as I'm about to show right here. And right here. There's even insta-kills, which I don't see Strive having, making Petit bet. Being so real here, those insta-kills are lame as hell though. I'm just gonna be honest, look at this crap, man. Where all credit's due though, I will give credit to Jam's insta-kill. It actually does look pretty good. Finally, we're on to the reason this video exists. Fanny. She's a nurse who's on a hunt for Dr. Baldhead. For those who don't know, Dr. Baldhead is who Faust was originally. She has two story endings, in which the first one explains that she's on the hunt for Dr. Baldhead, and in her second one, she finally meets Faust. But in both her own and Faust's stories, she's unable to determine his origins as the man she was originally looking for. After Faust takes his leave, she looks into the sky and the narration wonders if the day will ever come when Fanny finds Dr. Baldhead. In fights, she has a similar style as Faust in the idea that she uses a massive syringe to whack people. She uses the two little wings on her head to dash around, and to put the icing on the cake, she's goofy. Now, not extremely goofy, but goofy. Guilty Gear Petit succeeded in expanding Guilty Gear into the handheld gaming market and maintaining the series' presence during a rise of portable gaming. We can tell it succeeded somewhat since there's a sequel called Guilty Gear Petit 2. This game is basically the same game but with new characters and improvements to the animations. Like in Fanny's insta-kill, for example, there's a very obvious improvement in the ambulance animation. Or in May's insta-kill, they now drop Dizzy on you. And wait, is that my king? My glorious goat Robo-Guy? Nah, this is the best Guilty Gear, hands down. Out with the new and in with the old. Am I?